just getting technically oriented here. Some light rain or just drizzle today, and tonight cloudy, still windy, high 51.
Yeah, 42 clouds and wind and rain, and some clouds in our minds this morning because we're on hour 20 something, getting close to 30 hours of the Radiothon. I'll tell you something. Terry Loftus is here. One of the things we talk about all the time is during this Radiothon and dealing with the Monmouth County Child Advocacy Center. Obviously, the greatest honor is helping families and children in Monmouth County, but one of the other great honors that we have is the ability to meet some really wonderful people, and that never ceases to amaze me, how many people come to help the kids, and we have a very special guest here who certainly fits into that category.
Yes, sir. I have Joe Spano. Joe is with the Spano Family Foundation. I actually met Joe probably 4 years ago when I had my gym going, and Joe and his family are just generous people. Been involved with our charity, with the MCCAC. Joe and Debbie Ream, his sister-in-law, are on the board. So they not only give their time, but they also do financially, and he's involved in a lot of different charities, him and his whole family. So, again, Joe Spano, thanks.
Hi, Joe.
Thank you, Terry, for that introduction, and Lou as well. You know, Terry, the one thing that's important to me is that you reopen that gym, because I'm falling apart here.
You're not the only one.
Oh, you at least
Terry,
you have an excuse. You know, you're 30 hours sitting there in that chair on the radio.
Terry had to
I slept well.
Terry had to close the gym because he didn't have enough time to track down Lou and get him to show up every day.
I was taking way too much of his time.
I was unable to be listening in on the radio after I got off yesterday, so I didn't know that it was successful. But I'm so pleased to hear that the little challenge that we put forth worked out.
That's great.
We had challenged. First, we had put up $2,500 towards this, very wonderful organization that's helping to help the kids, and. I thought that maybe we can double that by reaching out to the public and having them put up perhaps another $2,500, and so essentially what ended up happening was that $2,500 became $7,500.
Thanks to you, that was fantastic.
And that worked, just so well. You know what? I'll tell you what. In the next hour, if you can do it again, if you can raise $2,500 in the next hour. We will donate another $2,500 towards the Advocacy Center.
That is awesome.
You are so generous.
So we're going to do it again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to make $2,500.
Right.
And
The Spano Family Foundation will match that $2,500.
that's awesome.
So in the next hour, let's get those phones ringing. We have our volunteers back there. We have a room full of volunteers, which again, people just show up and they're there on the phones right away first thing this morning. It's just great. And again, what Joe's done and what his family's done, you can't say enough about it.
So in many ways, donating in this hour actually doubles your money.
Doubles your money.
That's
so
Joe, thank
great.
you so much for your generosity.
Well, thank you for your time. And if somebody does call in, I want them to speak specifically to my wife, Diane Spano, and my sister-in-law, Deborah Ream, because they didn't want to hear their names on the air.
I guess Joe's not going back to
I forgot.
Joe's not going back to the call in the bank, I guess not.
So is there anybody else who didn't want to have their name heard?
Yes, there is another person.
Listen, I'll tell you what, if they make a big enough donation, we're going to have to get those people that didn't want to hear their names to come on the microphone. They'll love that.
So who else didn't want to hear their name?
It wasn't but minutes after I hung up yesterday, and in comes my good friend Rich Tilton. Sorry, Rich,
Here we
if
go again.
you're hearing this, but
Another one.
my friend Rich Tilton walks in, and he gives me a check for $200 for the Advocacy Center.
Aww.
And I told him, well, go on the air and announce it because it would be part of the $2,500 match. He says, no, I wouldn't do that to you. I said, well, do it to me.
And what was his name again?
His name is Rich Tilton.
Well, for that kind of donation, we're making the promise we won't mention it.
Okay. Sorry, Rich. No
Okay,
more.
Rich, you're off the hook.
I guess the moral of the story is if you're Joe's family or friends, don't tell them that you don't want something to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, thank you so much.
Okay.
We don't know what to say.
You're like a breath of fresh air to
Yeah.
have around here.
You've been
Come on
such-
the air anytime with us.
You're such a great help to the Advocacy Center, and we just want to say thank you.
No, my pleasure, and thank you all. I appreciate it, too.
All right.